Alright guys, GoPro went dead, but we're filming this on my phone because I gotta keep this thing moving forward. So here we go. Here's the noisy boy with the welded clutch. O-rings on there. We're going in. We got a little bit of grease in here. Got a little bit of grease in there. Alright. So we're popping this in. We're popping in the noisy boy. I cleaned this out really good and then greased the inside of that ring. So here we go. Here goes the noisy boy. Welded clutch. He's going in. Put your hands in the comments. Okie dokie. Oh. There we go. Nice. Vent holes engaged. If you're doing this, you gotta make sure that your torque arms are on there good, because the torque arm that I have on there, you gotta either have a good torque arm that can handle the regen, or you have to have torque arms preloaded in opposite directions. Alright, this is exciting, guys. It's my first time trying regen braking. We got the noisy boy G62 out here. I got the flip ski in a waterproof bag. We're going down the street. We're gonna try this regen out. Let's hit the regen and see how it feels. Listen to this. It's so cool. So I'm gonna have to get used to that. See, I barely even hit my bike's brakes. We better get this front motor on, buddy. Okay, we're just gonna hit the regen here I'm gonna let off the throttle right now. Okay, so now I'm braking with my hand just at the end. Oh, so it even continued braking there. This is crazy. All right. That's a lot of power going back into the motor, guys. When the regen kicks in like that. So one thing about doing regen braking with this is that the motor's going to be kind of always working, right? So that, because by default, when that clutch inside the motor freewheels, the motor isn't working when you're just coasting with the bike. But now that it's doing regen, even when we're coasting, regen is still doing work. So it's kind of, you gotta be careful with regen. I'm gonna have to ride a little bit differently because I'm used to I like to hit the throttle and then I just let off the throttle and coast for a while. But the way that I have this set up now is that you basically push the throttle when you want to go, but then you have to ease up on the throttle lightly when you want to start slowing down lightly. And then if you hit the throttle, if you just let go of the throttle, it'll do a stop, like right here. That was all regen. I didn't hit my bike's brakes at all. So I'll have to ride a little bit differently, but what regen means is that I won't have to change my brake pads constantly. It's gonna save me a lot of money on brake pads. I also drilled some vent holes in this thing, so it seems like it's staying a lot cooler with the vent holes. Let's keep cruising around and see how those are working. In terms of pedaling, I think right now it's doing regen when I'm pedaling, and to be able to so if I want to pedal, it seems like I have to hold the throttle at a certain point and then the regen is off, or else I could just turn the controller off. But that's kind of how I have it set up right now, is when I let off the throttle, the regen just goes in. So it's different. Man, that sounds so weird. I got some weird noises going on with the noisy boy, but don't worry about it. He had a traumatic upbringing. I like how the little regen bar goes up and down. That's cool. Okay, watch the regen. Oh wow. Make sure I don't get rained on. So then when you come to almost a complete stop, the regen lets off and it kind of rolls a little bit easier. So is the flipski staying waterproof here? Yeah, he's okay. So I'll have to figure out a better way to control the regen. The motor, it says it's 81. That's pretty hot. Let's keep going, because I want to see how those vent holes are working. Let's keep going around. So when you have regen, you usually use a whole separate input to control the intensity of the regen. But right now, like how I control it is I have to ease up on the throttle, and you can just like feel the brake kicking in. I mean, that kind of works. I don't know. I don't know if you would want to do this without venting the motor, because these motors, they're just like an oven to begin with. There's still a little bit of debate as to the maximum temperatures that they can handle. But I mean, it got up to 120 quite easily when I put a thermistor in it and I was testing it. It does some good braking, that is crazy. Even with huge vent holes, it's still going up 80, almost 90 C. Okay, so my understanding is when you're doing this, you have to be careful of the axle nuts coming loose from the regen torquing the axle back and forth. So what we're going to do here is quickly check, is this coming loose at all? Let's see. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna have to get my torque arms working better, because it's quite clear that this is not this is not gonna work. Ugh. Okay, so I might even lower down the regen a little bit, because here's some motor current. So let's make it like minus 50. Okay, so that verified my warning that I'm going to include at the beginning of this video is, if you're doing this, you got to make sure that your torque arms are on there good, because the torque arm that I have on there, you gotta either have a good torque arm that can handle the regen, or you have to have torque arms preloaded in opposite directions. It's cool though, like it's gonna save a ton if you can get it set up right. You know, there's some safety concerns, but if you can get it set up right, it can be very cool. But as you can see, like I just rode my bike around for like 10 or 15 minutes. And I had those axle nuts tightened up pretty tight, and I think, yeah, like I'm actually pretty lucky that I checked them when I did, because I think if I would have kept riding like this another like 10, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, it wouldn't have taken long until the axle nuts were so loose that it wouldn't have been good, you know? So, but very cool. I don't know what I've been doing with my life, because now I'm gonna save so much money on brake pads. Like, watch this. I turned the regen current down a little bit so it's not so strong, because I don't want my damn wheel to come off. But I mean, that regen, the regen current, you can decrease it like I just did, right? So it's not braking as hard, and that axle won't be twisting back as hard, rocking back and forth in the dropouts. So maybe it's a matter of just using lower regen current, and I'll have to play around with it some more. But I mean, right now I can just ease up on the throttle, and like right now I can feel it. It's charging, it's braking. And then if I totally let off, hard braking, then we can keep going. So very cool. Very cool indeed. So I put vent holes in this thing and it still gets pretty hot. That's crazy. I might ride around for just a second here to see how hot this thing gets, because I'm curious. And it's probably gonna rain. So those $5 AliExpress budget nylon gears, the questionable nylon gears, are working great, boys. We're grinding them down, doing regen. It's getting hot though. Let's see here. So I'm just curious, how fast does it take for that to occur? So it doesn't seem like it's coming off anymore now. Maybe it seemed like maybe it loosened just slightly over here since I tightened it up a moment ago. I might have just tightened it more on this side or something. So guys, I can't stress this enough, and I'm gonna repeat myself over and over. But like, you have to be careful if you do this to your motor and you want regen braking. The torque arms need to be really secure. You don't want to be using the $10 Amazon.com you know, torque arm design from 10 years ago. And you gotta be proactive and check the hardware, check your axle nuts, make sure that they're not coming loose. So let's feel, so the air coming out of the motor doesn't feel hot. It says it's at 91. Alright, well that was fun. We tried out Regen. It's gonna rain out. But it was a fun first video trying Regen. Let's see how much we charged. What does it say? So it says I've charged about, it looks like it's, I don't know how to read like the regen percentage yet in this app, but it seems like we've taken out about 3 amp hours and we've charged about 0.36 amp hours. So it seems like the amp hours charged are a little bit more than 10%. So let's see. So 29 divided by 256. So 29 divided by 256. 11% or something. So that's not too bad. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.